going on inside today is we're finishing up some trim work. We're going to be doctoring up the throwaway areas so we can get them finished. Carpet scheduled for later next week. The riggers are continuing to do their thing. They'll be here for a couple more weeks yet. They're all the way up top, putting the blocks in, getting ready to start running the cables. The painters are finishing up the outside of the building. And the electricians are starting to install light fixtures. By sometime next week, all the scaffolding will be out of the building. All the house lights will be able to work and be able to look at it and see what it's going to look like once the building's completed. We're backstage here in the performers area. This is all going to be a throwaway area, so what we did is we came through here, we put some trim up, we tried to clean it up as much as possible. We painted the whole place. It's getting new flooring, new VCT, new carpet. We're trying to make it as comfortable as possible for all the actors and actresses that are going to be coming in, with the anticipation that eventually all this will be replaced. There'll be a new area for the performers, and this is kind of an interim to make it comfortable and nice and neat and make everybody happy here. So we're pretty much finished up this area now. Today they're going to start putting the floors in, and they're going to be putting the carpet in there next Wednesday. They'll be coming in to put the carpet up. So we're pretty much wrapped up back here. They can move in. Once we get this done, the productions can move their costumes back in. They can start moving their makeup and all the stuff that has to do with producing the show. They can move back into the area. So trying to get them a jump start on their process too. What we're talking about here is we're talking about all the new rigging going in. This is a little bit above my expertise. So Andrew here has really dealt with this quite a bit on a bunch of different projects, so he can kind of explain to you what's going on exactly here, how it's being installed.
Well, but basically it's a counterweight system, and what they're installing is what's called arbors with T-tracks, and the arbors will ride on the T-tracks that go vertically up and down. There's going to be a pull rope that attaches to it so that they can counterweight the scenery that's hanging over the stage so that it's in equilibrium and it's easy to operate. One of the beautiful things about doing an arbor system is when you put lights and stuff on the pipes, it gets really heavy, so you could counteract the weight of lighting instruments and equipment and make it really easy to operate for all the stagehands, and really helps make the show run smoother than what would have been a traditional hemp house, which is what this was originally, where they had sandbags and they were counterweighting that way. This is top-notch way to operate a theater compared to what we had here just weeks ago.
All the lights are installed, so if you look up top here, you can see all the finished lights for the house are done. We've turned them all on, they all work. So this area is really getting wrapped up. The landscaper came in here, tore out all the concrete earlier, and now they're putting in a little park for the public. They're going to the public's going to be able to come down, watch the fireworks that happens over the summer. They're going to put grass in here. They put some trees in. They'll put some park benches and stuff. Hugh Marshall Landscaping is the one doing all this work in here. We're out here in the parking lot now, and what they're doing is they're digging a trench for future. We're going to put in 2 5-inch conduit and 2 4-inch conduit to move the transformer for the building. So in phase 2, when we tear down the performers area and the front and put our addition on, we're going to move the existing transformer, which is below floodplain, over here out of the way of the addition, and then we're going to raise it up about 5 feet so it's above floodplain. What we're doing now is we're putting in all the piping and all the conduit so that we can finish the parking lot 100% and not have to tear it up later on down the road. So the parking lot will be done, but everything will be put under the parking lot for future. They finished the water line last week. They finished installing it. So what they did is we filmed the ditch a couple times going through the parking lot and all around. They plugged in at Main Street and they plugged in at Ferry Street. It's a loop that goes through the parking lot and feeds this building and the building next door. So that's all been dug, that's all been plugged in. Last week they pressurized the whole thing and chlorinated it to purify the water inside and purify the inside of the pipe. We have an engineer here today looking at the pressure gauges. The pressure gauge has been up to 200 pounds for 2.5 hours now. He's got another half hour to go. If the pressure gauge doesn't move, that means that the whole pipe is solid and it doesn't have any leaks in it, and then we can flush the whole system out and plug us in. Once we get plugged in, we can run our sprinkler system. We can rehook up our domestic water. So we'll really this is the main thing that we've been waiting for. This is the thing that's going to tell us if we can open or not, whether we can get that sprinkler system up and running. They're installing all the seats. All the seats are the original seats. They were all completely stripped down, redone, reupholstered, and now they're putting them all back in the same exact locations they were. What they do is they're finding all the holes in the original rows and they're putting them right back in. It'll take them a couple days to put all these in, and we'll be ready for a show. I believe there's 432 seats. The first 2 rows here are modular. That way, if there were a flood, they could take those 2 rows up and put them on stage or get them out of the way. Also, they want to utilize it for if they were to have an orchestra or some kind of a musical band here that would be playing while the play was going on, the musical. Also, they're putting some modular seats up in the balcony. The balcony was never sold before, or not recently. It was always used for the producer or something to be up there, but now we're reopening the balcony. That way they can utilize those seats for more patrons. So it's really coming together nice, and you know, it's really working out good here. We're starting to install the carpet. They came in yesterday, put all the edge metal up. All the edging is done. They cut all the carpet back at the shop, and now they're going to be installed. It all gets glued down. Obviously all the seats were installed. This really putting the finishing touches on the whole place. Once this is done with the carpet, we're pretty much done in the seating area, then we're ready for the show. We're still working on the peripheral areas to get them trimmed out and painted and ready for the opening.